What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about why Sigil Magick actually fails 99, maybe it's not 99, 95% of the time, and or gets lackluster results that really ultimately leaves the magician, the practitioner, in disappointment. So this is just my own opinion. This is what I've observed as somebody who has taught many students one-on-one, all with repeatable results that work damn near every single time. The only time it's failed is when they've gotten on one of these things wrong. And this isn't a static list or anything like that. These are just a couple observations. And hopefully, by the end of this, you'll be able to look into your own Sigil Magick and see where you've been screwing up. So hopefully I don't forget anything. I've got the memory of a goldfish. But starting out, what I would like to talk about is probably the number one thing. And that is treating the sigil, the actual creation of the sigil, as a full-blown ritual itself. Everywhere I've looked, just about every online practitioner telling you how to do it based on occult history, occult understanding of creating a sigil, kind of just tells you, the whole write out your intention, cross out the vowels, keep the consonants, cross out the repeating letters, that sort of thing, and then create a sigil. Maybe you use a planetary square, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. They'll tell you to do that, and the full power of the sigil is in the word you just wrote out, the phrase, the sentence. And you can put that sigil on something, you can carry it with you, so on and so forth. All you really did was write something and draw a picture. You didn't activate it. You didn't truly put your full desire into that sigil. You didn't put all of you into that sigil. You didn't open and charge, activate that sigil, and claim that desire as something that already is. You're still treating it as something you do not have yet. So I'd say the number one is lackluster ritual is going to equate lackluster results. Period. This ultimately comes down to mindset. It's not the method. You didn't. There's many ways to create a sigil. There's, the step-by-step processes are training wheels ultimately, but it's the state of mind you put yourself in to go into this. It's failure to enrapture yourself into that sigil making process. Put yourself in that trance state. Deploy the missing key to magic in this. And conjure up, really tap into that emotion. Right? Really, when you don't tap into the emotion and you're kind of nonchalant about it, well, expect the magic to be nonchalant about whether it works or not. You really are able to channel that emotion. Let's say, for instance, anger. Anger is a very easy emotion to tap into. Most of us have had something happen to us in the past that has pissed us off. Or you can think of something, conjure something up, that gets you pissed off, that gets you angry, that rouses that emotion. And you can convert that and put that into your spell. You can think about, let's say you're crafting a sigil for wealth. Doesn't it piss you off that you're not where you want to be, monetarily speaking? Doesn't it piss you off that you are working 8, 9, 10 hours a day and still barely able to pay your bills? And you're not consumeristic. You do your budgeting pretty decently, but you still don't make enough money. You feel like you're trapped. If that pisses you off, you can conjure that emotion up and put that in your ritual. And then you're going to visualize, you're going to see the desired outcome and know that it is all there's a switch you flip. You're not trying to see the events taking place. You're not trying to see the events leading up to the desired outcome. You want to see a snapshot of that outcome as though it is already so, that you're already living in that moment. And you want to hold that until it dissolves and fades away. It's like it's being pulled from your mind and it disappears. Now it's implanted in that sigil. Whatever you want to do with the sigil after that is up to you. Most people try to burn the sigil. I wouldn't do that. I want to keep that sigil until that desired outcome comes to fruition. I usually carry it. I'll put it in my wallet. If I'm using wealth magic, if I have some cash in my wallet, I'll put it between the cash. Or maybe I'll hide it in a book somewhere. Second mistake, tapping your foot, pacing back and forth, waiting on the spell to happen, waiting on that thing, waiting on the magic to work. You ever tried to watch a pot of boiling water? How'd that go for you? The magic begins to work the moment you forget you worked the magic in the first place. Walk away from your ritual. Fold that sigil up, stick it somewhere where you're not going to see it. Get the hell away from it. Forget about it. Forget you ever even drew it. Is this always the rule? Are there exceptions? Of course. Of course. But ultimately, you want to forget about it. Know that it is done. Know that it is done. You don't have to watch and wait. Because what you're ultimately going to end up doing is prolonging the process or completely voiding out the process altogether. You're sitting there, let's say you just made a sigil for wealth. If your mindset has not fully grasped and accumulated how magic, how ascension, and all of that works, what happens if you have a financial setback? You lose your job. You're trying to make money. You're trying to get promoted in your job, but you just lost your job. Wouldn't that create a little bit of doubt? Oh, my magic didn't work. I lost my job. Even if you get a better job, the next day making more money, there's a chance you might not attribute that win to that sigil that you just made. You got promoted in life. You made more money. But you already created that. You sowed that seed of doubt, and it's already taken root in your mind because you didn't leave it alone. You were pacing back and forth waiting on the magic to work. In sigil magic, just like all magic, when we use it successfully, we're working that muscle. We're exercising that magical muscle to strengthen and grow, strengthen and grow, strengthen and grow. And when we land a spell, when we land a manifestation, it increases our faith. And ultimately what happens, we start to overcome belief systems. Right? We all have belief systems. Maybe your faith is little, but you land a spell or a ritual, becomes successful, a sigil brings that which you desire, and that faith grows just a little bit. Now that previous belief system has been overridden, and it has now been torn apart so that it can grow and strengthen. Eventually, after enough practice of this magic, these manifestations, after each successful spell, after each successful ritual, after when you really start to tap into the darkness, when things don't go your way, when you lose jobs, when you lose family members, friends, your marriage falls apart and you rebuild, you get back up, you keep getting back up, and you rise a better person, an ascended person, and your magic is still working. Belief systems cease to be belief systems. They become no systems because you know that it's going to work. It's no longer just a belief. It is a knowing. You know without a shadow of a doubt. If you draw a sigil and you open it, you consecrate it, and when you speak your command into that sigil, whatever you say to it's going to be in your life because it already is. You want to know the other thing? Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not so obvious. Reason for failure. It's failure to meet the magic halfway. If you are, and this is with any form of magic, not just sigil magic. When you work a ritual, when you work a spell of any kind, because you want something to happen in your life, right? We want to change the outside world. If you're not allowing yourself to go through the process of change, the outside world is not going to meet you. You've got to meet the magic halfway. That means if it's money you seek, you have to go to where the money's at. The best time to cast a money spell is just before or right after filling out a job application or a couple job applications, right before you ask for a promotion. right before you start the business. And I promise you, if you put in the physical action, the mundane action, if you are seeking a new house, you have to go online and look for houses that are available, that are within your budget. The right house is going to be presented to you. You will have the house. You will have the house. No physical action equals no physical results. The magic will influence. It will weave through every molecule, bend things to your favor, influence the environment, the minds, the people, the hearts. It might even turn the wing of a butterfly and cause a tree to fall on the other side of the world for you. What it's not going to do is birth a manifestation out of nothing, out of zero action. You're not going to find the love of your life after casting a spell to find the love of your life. If you don't go out and put yourself into a position where you're likely to meet people. You're not, if you're not going to the coffee shop, if you're not going to the mall, or wherever the love of your life might be waiting for you, they're not going to come to your doorstep. If they do, it's very rare. That means you still probably had to order the pizza and have it delivered, and it might have been the pizza delivery person that brought your pizza to you, and you just happen to see their infectious smile, and one thing led to the next. You still had to order the pizza. So I want you to think about this stuff. There's got to be action. There's got to be emotion. There has to be desire. There has to be will. There has to be intention. Master a state of trance. Master it. Learn how to breathe 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. Repetitively. Make the world around you disappear except for you and that sigil that you're creating. This month, it is August 2nd. This month, I'm hosting a live webinar. Sigil Magick Mastery. By the end of this webinar, you will have everything you need to conduct powerful sigil magic. See this car I'm driving? It's a new car. I used the sigil of Belial to acquire this car. You will master sigil magic by the end of this webinar. That's my goal. If you show up, if you're ready to do the work, it's going to be hands-on. You're going to create multiple different sigils during the course of this webinar. I'm going to walk you through. We're going to do it together, step by step, consecrating, opening, activating the sigils, what we're going to do with these sigils. We're going to use different kinds of sigils. We're going to use sigils that draw only on your own power or planetary energies. We're going to use sigils of certain spirits, deities, and draw upon their power. And after you've created these sigils during this workshop, you're going to watch these sigils all come to fruition in your life. It's going to be pleasantly unexpected how they work. It's going to be mind-blowing, the results you get. The good news, the best part about this is if you are in the top tier of my Patreon, the Inner Temple, if you have a membership in the Inner Temple, you automatically have free admission to this workshop. Everybody else has to buy a ticket. So if you want to join my Patreon now, I'm going to list the link in my bio. You can go ahead and join my Patreon. You will get everything in the Patreon, including private access to my private community. We call it the Mages Guild, where like-minded magicians are all working hard together, swapping field notes, figuring the magic out. You have access to everything that I've ever posted in Patreon. So click the link in the description and go join my Inner Temple tier, a highest tier Patreon, and you're gonna have private access to this webinar. We have the Mages Guild meeting every month, which is usually its own webinar. We do that every single month. So even if you only pay the $66 to join my Patreon, you're gonna get 2 online calls, 2 online teachings, and access to all the teachings that I've ever released privately. It's a pretty good deal. So click the link below and join that, and let's make sigils together.